Here's a story. I think it was in the time of the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad. There was a large group of religious Jews, rich Jews, that were sitting together, and they were all discussing miracles that happened to them because of their particular Rebbes and their particular leaders that gave them advice, and the advice miraculously made them rich. Among the rich Jews that were sitting there was a Chabad Chassid, the name of Rabbi Gerarier. All of the other Hasidim told their stories, and they were really very impressive. One told about how his Rebbe told him to invest in some obscure project, and he did so, and he multiplied his money 100 times, 1,000 times. Another told him to move all of his businesses from one town to another, and sure enough, the town where he was in, that he moved from, there was an earthquake and everything was destroyed. Another one told the story of how his Rebbe told him to invest every penny that he had in something, in some partnership, and he did so, and it was a tremendous, unexpected success. Came the turn of our rabbi, and he said, my rabbi told me that I should invest all of my money in something. He said what it was, in furs or something, and I invested it and I lost every penny. And so they said, okay. And then what? He said, that's it, that's the whole story. So they said, well, what type of a miracle is that? Anybody can lose their money. There's no, that's a big miracle. He gave you bad advice. And he said, no, the miracle is that I remained a chassid of his, a follower of his. That's the miracle. So that's the story at face value. Is the miracle is that the chassidim follow the Rebbe unquestionably, something like Abraham followed God unquestioningly, and God promised him, Abraham, all sorts of good things. He's going to get the land of Israel and etc. And he didn't get it, and nevertheless he continued believing in God. And the same thing with Yitzchak and Yaakov. They continued believing in God despite the fact that God did not give them the land of Israel. It only wasn't even given to Moses. Moses only to. So that's the Jewish people serve God without thought of remuneration right now. Just the idea of serving God, that's good enough. But I think there's something a little bit deeper to that. The reason that we're in this physical world is, and that's the reason that was the secret of Abraham. The reason that Abraham was in this physical world was to refine the world. And one way of refining the world is meeting up with unfortunate situations that would usually make us angry or depressed or sad or run into give ourselves over to desires or to lusts or to whatever. And that's called the world. That's called the world. And in Hebrew, it's called tachtoni, this physical world. And it's our job, the one is a situation that makes us angry, to think, why did God put me in this situation? It's obviously God is doing it. I can't get angry at God. I can't go against what God says. Getting angry is not the right response in this situation. Going and following my lusts, following my depression, getting depression, that's not God's the reaction that I would have if I believed in God. And nowadays we have to search around, and these things, these events are put into our hands by God, seemingly by accident, but by Him, he was happy because the Rebbe put him into the situation. It didn't just happen. Actually, the Rebbe brought him into a situation where he would lose all of his money, and then he would nevertheless believe in God and still remain happy. And that would fix up the low situation that there was. And that's why he remained the Chassid of the Rebbe, because the same reason that Abraham remained a Chassid of God, because he believed that what God was doing to him, and the reason that God did not come across with his promises, or that he didn't give him success, was actually in some ways even higher than success itself. Because having success is no test. Even though being success is a test. They say if you want to test a person's personality, is give him power or give him success, and then you'll see who the person really, really is. That's true. But in a lot of ways, and the Talmud says that the test of richness is more difficult. But nevertheless, nowadays it's not so. Nowadays it's not so. Now the test of poverty is one that drives people really crazy, and Jewish people have suffered enough. So he gave him the test of poverty. How did he react to it? He said he still believes in the Rebbe. Rebbe, if he wants to, we could do it again, because he knows that what is being done only in order to improve him and to improve the world. With Mashiach now.